in my usual way, I've kind of gone off at tangents now and then because that's just the way I am. I start researching one thing and something else crops up. It'll come up later. The Manchester bee, the worker bee, was adopted as the city's official emblem in 1842. This is, of course, during the Industrial Revolution. And it was seen as the world's first industrial city. But obviously, more recently, it's become something else altogether, which I'll come on to. When the architect Alfred Waterhouse came to design the town hall in the 1870s, he placed a mosaic with bees in the Great Hall, and that's what this picture is of. So there it is. That is the original Manchester bee in terms of what it's become. But they were only one amongst a vast array of symbols. And of course, before the bee, Manchester was trying to promote itself as I love, get it, heart, I love Manchester. It was popular before the bee and then kind of faded out. What do you think the I love Manchester was based on? Why did they go for that initially? What were they copying? What city had also already done this? I love
London.
No.
Oh, New York. New York.
A prize
Oh,
again.
New York, yes.
To Graham. It was that had been used since 1977 to promote tourism to the state of New York and New York City. And the trademark logo is owned by the New York State Department of Economic Development. See the little R in the bottom there?
Uh-huh.
I don't know whether they'll be after me about this, just for having put it on here. But it's thought that that might have come out of this, which is Robert Indiana's love art for the Museum of Modern Art in 1965 Christmas card, and it was later used as a stamp. Don't you think there is a certain kind of link in the squareness of obviously the O is on its side, but there is some similarity to it, but whether it came from what, I don't know. And this is the coat of arms, Manchester coat of arms, which I'm sure you've all passed one way or another. It's there. It was granted in 1842 to Manchester Corporation and passed on to the Borough of Manchester in 1853 when that was established. And I used to really like heraldry for some reason. Doesn't seem very politically correct, that, but there you go. It's this one, the shield or the gules, with 3 gold ore bands drawn diagonally across the right-hand side. The chief, which is the argent top segment, shows a ship at sea in full sail, and this, of course, is representative of the trading link with Manchester. Manchester is a trading centre, and on the crest is a multicoloured wreath, and on top of that stands a terrestrial globe signifying world trade, and covered by, well, it says a swarm. I think there are only 7 of them, of bees, flying bees. And it then became adopted as a symbol of industrial Manchester, being the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution.
What year is that,
like
Tony?
a frog.
1853.
Oh,
Yeah.
It looks like a frog, that helmet, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Ribbit, ribbit.
Yes, it does exactly look like that. You're quite right. I've never noticed that before. And what does the council motto mean? Concilio et labore?
Work
I don't know.
That's join and work, isn't it?
Join and
Accept and work.
work together.
Oh, well, your Latin really needs a bit clearing up a bit. It means by
I never did
wisdom,
Latin.
and effort, or another translation, by counsel and hard work. Counsel, not the Manchester Council.
Labore, yes. Yes.
And does anybody remember this? It used to be on the 1930 on the red buses. I'm sure I can remember when the buses were red that some of them had this on it.
yeah, they were. Before they became orange, they were red.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's right. I
well,
always wondered,
That was Manchester Corporation buses, wasn't it? Yeah, you're right.
they were red, weren't they? Which I
Yeah,
loved.
they were.
And you know, they were the ones where you could just jump on at the back. They were brilliant.
The frog's gone. Where's the frog gone?
Good point. They've simplified it a bit in order to put it on buses. Is all I can say.
It's a very
Is
camp
there-
lion.
is there
It's a
only-
very camp lion, that one, isn't it?
Yes, he is. Mm.
He must only
Very
have been a
polite.
tadpole.
Pantomime lion. There you
Little
go.
tadpole.
Yeah, and you can only just see them bees on the top. They've gone a bit fuzzy there. The bees.
They look more like butterflies, don't they? Or moths.
And that's in the Manchester Transport Museum, photo by Leah Aaron. Do you know why they turned the buses orange and white? Why did they change from red to orange? Which I never agreed with. For safety reasons, because they'd stand out more in the dark or something.
Oh, what a load of crap.
It was a horrible choice. It was a horrible choice of colour.
Wasn't it just? Wasn't it just?
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
And
there you go.
I mean, there was a bit of white on the buses, so that they weren't exactly the same as the London buses, but they were mostly red.
Yeah.
With a white stripe around them, I think. But
Anyway,
that orange was vile. It looked, you know.
yeah,
And they're talking about turning them all yellow now, aren't they?
yeah, that's right.
Oh,
That's
God.
right.
Yes.
They are indeed to go with the trams.
That's right.
It's
yeah.
the bee going to be the bee network, isn't it? And they're all
Correct.
linked.
Yes, you've obviously read the same article as me, Jackie. As well.
I knew that already.
This is when did they become so popular? Well, this is the Manchester shop just outside. Have everybody been to Affleck's Palace?
Oh yeah.
It's just off
No.
Piccadilly.
Well,
It
when
used
it was
to
Affleck and Browns, I remember.
It was. It used to be a store called Affleck and Browns, and now it's just become full of small shops. It's a wonderful place. You can get all sorts of things there. I love it.
It's actually not on the African Brown store. It's next door to it.
It's next door to it, isn't it? But they took that
That's right.
name.
The African Brown store has been converted into flats upstairs, but
Oh, right.
it moved to the building which was next to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did they spell it that way, Affleck's? I don't remember this. Anyway, there you go.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, AFFLECK. You know, that's
Yeah,
right.
and then
And Brown.
it was it Affleck and Brown or Afflecks and Brown?
Affleck and Brown.
Ah, that's the S. It's puzzles me.
Yeah.
Quite right. So it should really be apostrophe S, shouldn't it, or something? Anyway, let's not go there.
Okay.
This is the Manchester shop, which didn't have the B on it originally, but it was they did start to sell T-shirts and things with the Manchester B on in 2015. So that was there was a reawakening in the roundabout this period of interest in the B. I think all the B on the top and on the sign are fairly recent, not then. And of course, this was all changed by the Manchester Arena attack in May 2017, where they became. This is Stevenson Square. This picture. And in fact, now there is a website called Manchester Bees, run by somebody called Gareth Hacking, which is dedicated to documenting and mapping every bee in the city, which is a long way off. A long way off being
He
completed.
needs to get a life. Yeah.
This is his website. If you want to see any of the different bees, go to his website, which is called, unsurprisingly, Manchester Bees. And of course, this is Andy Burnham showing off his tattoo as he was about to go in the Greater Manchester Run. Very discreetly there on his flexed bicep. And this, going back, one of the things that they've done, that the guy who's got the Manchester Bee site did, was look at the history of it. And this is a place called Beehive Mill, which is a Grade 2 listed former cotton mill in Ancoats. And
There was a beehive mill in Bolton, which was a huge mill. My mother used to work there, and it was demolished very, very recently. I don't know whether they were the same company or what.
I think it's probably just a popular name, isn't it? Our workers are like bees in here. something like that. But this one, it was sold off. Well, no, interesting, irrelevant fact. It was used in the location, as a filming location in the film 24-Hour Party People, taking on the role of the factory records office. Hello, Christine.
What's that? It's good.
Yeah, it was a good film. And this is Urban Splash, who were into kind of doing up old places, and they're selling off flats in it now. They called it an iconic workspace in Ancoats. It has been a soap factory. It was the legendary Sankey's nightclub, and is now home to a thriving community. This is Urban Splash speaking, of exciting businesses and entrepreneurs working from private offices and co-working space. Well, there you go.
Was that Sankey's?
Yeah, apparently it was in it.
Wow.
Now,
Was Sankey's?
here I'm swerving off in another direction for a little bit to talk about the Oddfellows. Now, in most places around, especially around Manchester, Greater Manchester, there are a lot of Oddfellows Arms. And the reason for that isn't that there are just a lot of odd fellows wandering around Manchester, but there was a there was a group called the Oddfellows based in Manchester. And in Manchester, the Oddfellows were a friendly society, a kind of 19th century mutual aid group, which started up a range of sickness and pension insurances for working people, and a forerunner to a national insurance system. In 1810, they adopted the beehive as their calling card. So there is a thought that this might have influenced it. And you can see the Oddfellows Arms symbol, coat of arms, really, isn't it? There, and there it is. Now, the interesting thing about the Manchester one is that the Manchester unity of Oddfellows broke off from the national Oddfellows because they thought they were not sufficiently odd enough fellows or some reason or other, and became actually more popular than the national one and started up branches in Australia and America.
Didn't they used to have a big place on Cavendish Street?
Ah, interestingly, you should say that, Graham. I'm coming on to that.
Sorry, okay.
No, I like it. I haven't translated their slogan, but it looks like being friendly, in love, and
friendship, love, and truth.
Friendship, love, and truth.
Indeed. Well, we can all agree with that. But if you look at the shield, I didn't think there were any bees on it, but look at there on the bottom left. There's a beehive. Right. So that's that.
Where's the Oddfellows' legs?
That's why he's odd.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's only got one.
and there must be a pub that says the Oddfellows' Head.
Well, okay. Thank you for that contribution, Bill.
That's all right. Yeah, I thought I'd just wake up a bit, you know. Morning.
So it was founded in Manchester, the Oddfellows Manchester branch, in 1810. So it really goes back quite a long way. And even, in fact, some of its lodges claim histories going back to the 18th century. And so they were, in a way, they were proto-trade unions, as we'll come on to later. But if you look there, that is the Oddfellows Hall that Graham was referring to, which is on, in order to give it a place, it's on the corner there of Upper Brook Street, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can you see that? That's where the Museum of Science and Industry used to be before it moved to Deansgate. And that mural was done by Ken Billiard, who I knew quite well. His girlfriend lived in the house that I lived in, and he got killed in a car crash. And I helped his mother move all his paintings to somewhere safe, and she gave me one of the paintings, and it's on my wall at the moment. But I can't move my camera around to show you because it's too difficult. But I thought that was, I think it's not there anymore, is it, that mural?
No, it's gone. No.
But I think it's lovely. I think it's really nice. I think it's a pity it's gone.
I think it's a beautiful mural. I love the use of colour. You know, he's limited it, hasn't he?
Yeah,
It's
yeah. And with
really
the big
nice.
wheel at the bottom that they've stuck on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's lovely. It's really lovely. And it's very sad that that's happened. But the Oddfellows Hall is just round the corner here. This is the Oddfellows building. Now, I'm ashamed to say, in all my years of living in Manchester and having passed that building on a fairly regular basis, I've never noticed it.
You will now.
Well, I will. Yeah, absolutely. That's quite right, Christine.
I'll notice it.
This is an Oddfellows meeting room. The Oddfellows had a number of novel benefits for members, one of which included a travel warrant, which allowed members seeking work to stay overnight in an Oddfellows Hall anywhere in the country free of charge.
Those tables have similar colours to the mural on the side of the building we looked at previously. Is there some significance to that?
No.
Is it something like a sort of less sinister version of the Masons?
Yeah, or Rotarians more like. Yeah, no, you're right. It is a less sinister version. But if you can you see that sword at the front? It was there in order to give protection in case anybody tried to come into the room and arrest them or something like that. Symbolically.
It wasn't for the chairman to keep the members in order or anything.
Well, maybe it was, but I know. So that's for the guardian of the door, and obviously a very important role to have in the Oddfellows. Well, I must.
Bernard,
Yeah.
when were they inaugurated? When was it?
1810.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sandy, but
Yeah.
maybe you need to get a sword for Excel.
Yeah, maybe we do.
I've got a sword you can borrow. I'm looking at it now. It's in the corner of my dining room. You can
Okay.
have that one.
Yes. I think we should talk about swords we have known now for a while.
Anyone want a machete?
What did they have to? It looks like on the back of the chairs they've got those things you put round
Sashes, yeah.
Yeah.
Bit like they have in Northern Ireland, isn't it? Those kind of things.
It's a bit like the Masons because they were.
It is, but as Graham say, less scary really, if anything, and more trade unionist.
Bernard, it looks like the sword nearest to us, or rather the chair nearest to us, the black one, has a sword as well.
Well, I think that's the one nearest the door, but they put it there so you can see it properly.
But there's also, isn't there one on the chairman's table?
That's a mace, isn't it?
That's a mace.
That's amazing.
Oh, no, a mace is at the other end, isn't it? Yeah, you're right.
Amazing. Yeah.
Well, we're doing quite a good analysis of this picture. I'm very impressed. I've got a confession here. I used to be a Rotarian. Readers, I was that Rotarian.
Used to turn around swiftly.
You were just going round in circles.
Let's keep going. But it also developed into the Unity Credit Union, or the Manchester Unity Credit Union, a not-for-profit, member-owned financial cooperative based in Manchester and operating throughout the United Kingdom. It was the credit union was first established for members of the Independent Order of Oddfellows in 1991. So you can see they're moving into more modern things like credit unions, which they did a lot to set up, which I didn't know of. So it's quite an interesting group, one which I knew nothing about. I know a little bit more about them. And there are a lot of these groups around, aren't they? Rotarians, Lions, Freemasons, Oddfellows. But yeah, let's leave it at that now.
Buffaloes,
yeah.
Ancient Order, Foresters.
Yep, all of those. Right, meanwhile, back at the bee. The bee of the bang, was that anything to do with bees? No, it wasn't. Whatever happened to that sculpture? Oh, no, let's not go there. This is the Duchess of Cambridge, came to Manchester in the autumn last year, wearing bee earrings.
Yeah, I like those. They're lovely.
They're good, aren't they? They were
Yeah. Love a pair of those.
And the reason they came was to open up the Glade of Light Memorial, which, as you can see, is near Manchester Cathedral.
Yeah, I've been there.
I'm not wildly impressed by that, but maybe because it's early in days and it being established, and apparently that's.
I quite like it actually.
Yes, I do too.
Okay. Well, I take it all back.
I see what you mean about the planting is waiting to sort of develop.
It'll grow. Give it a few years.
I think you're exactly
I
right.
like the idea of it and the space of it. Yeah.
Once it's all growing, I think it'll look lovely.
I needed Nell to jump in there and put it all right.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
come on
everyone's
now.
right. It takes time. Today's society is far too susceptible to instant gardening.
Yeah, you've just got to be patient, haven't you? And in the middle is a hawthorn tree. Why would they have planted a hawthorn tree?
What have you got against hawthorn trees, Bill?
I love hawthorn trees.
Oh, right. Well,
I'm just saying, why have they planted that particularly for a
I
glade
don't
of-
know. Do you know the answer, or are we just having a discussion?
No, I'm going to give you a chance to show your horticultural knowledge before I tell you. The
Oh, they're
the
pretty.
idea
is it something to do with May? I don't know.
correct. That's exactly right. The 22nd of May, when the in 2007.
Also known as a May tree, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. The white flowers of the hawthorn tree will be blooming in May, which is the anniversary of the bombing. So I think that is really appropriate, and that looked beautiful.
Excellent.
You can see at the moment it's quite small, but it should grow well. It's only take a couple of years to look really nice. So I take my view on that, which was prejudiced by the lack of immediate vegetation, but it will be great when it all starts
sprouting.
Sprouting is the word I was looking for.
Bernard, can I ask if you go back to that, the shapes in the center, you've got the pathway that goes across almost like an S, and then you've got another S on the right and another S on the left. Is that deliberate, or am I misseeing it?
I don't know.
There seems to be a deliberate shaping in there.
And I like that actually. It's a really good, because it's got some stone. It's got some steps as well. You know, the stone thingies, and you've got the kind of gravelly path as well. And I think that's so people can walk through the vegetation and get the benefit. Maybe they've a lot of aromatic plants in there. I don't know, but
there's quite a lot of seating there as well.
There's a lot of seating, isn't there? Yeah.
It's very cold on the backside.
Yes, it is.
Take your cushion with you. Yeah.
Don't go in your shorts then.
The proportions in the centre.
Pardon?
I think the proportions in the centre in relation to the seating, whatever you want to call
curves,
it, outside the blade is all
reflecting it a bit, isn't it? Yeah.
And those gravel paths won't last 2 seconds.
No, I think they've made a bit of a mistake with that centre.
So, I mean, having said that, it will take time to mature. I don't think it's particularly well planned.
No.
Okay. Well, we're very good at analysing photographs.
Well, we've got a screen to stare at. What else?
There's another poem brewing, Gray.
Oh, I like that bee.
Yeah. What happened, it was quite interesting, in the 1970s, they were recommissioning benches, bins and bollards, and they were trying to come up with something that was a bit better than just the plain sort of concretey type things they had before. And they found the ones they got, the material degraded quickly because of in the rain. So a guy from the planning office in the town hall extension, which I think was very progressive in the 1970s, but that's another debate about that. They were based in the town hall extension. The guy who had to design it went for a walk across the bridge into the main building, looking down at the floor, thought the bee seemed perfect because it was on the floor of the town hall. He got a team of model makers working with him, got them to mock up a design, and there it was. That's why it's on all the bollards and bins in the centre of the city. And I think they look great. the sort of gold on black. I think it works really well personally.
So do I.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh. So Warren Mitchell, take a bow. Sorry, Warren Marshall, take a bow. Get his name right. Now, let's go on to the place where innovation really takes place, Chorlton.
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
The Tea Hive is a well-known tea shop in Chorlton, and it adopted a bee in its logo in 2011. How's that for being before the curve or before the takeoff of it?
where is it though?
It's just near the library, just opposite the library.
Oh, right.
Oh, there.
On Manchester Road. Yeah.
Yep. This is the one of the images that became went viral, as they say, on Instagram, which is after the bombing, which was "Stay strong, our kid." I've never been too fond of that kind of mock
Looks like Liam
Mancunian.
Gallagher, that.
Yeah, you know, it's like the other slogan they have in Manchester: "We do things differently here." You know, which is sort of you don't need to do that, do you? I think so.
No.
Well, anyway, but it does seem appropriate because of the young children, the young people who died in that one, those Stray Strong kids. So I'll allow them that one. Wrong way. Oh, this is all the bee tattoos that were done. This is very interesting. Now I'm hope this works. And this is a video I shot on the day after when they were having the tattoo day. Let's go for this.
They were busy. Busy bee, her.
So I was there on my bike. Can you see that's the tattoo place on the left? And they were a bit shaky there. Bad camera work there, Bernard. Obviously I was trying to cross over, but there were too many cars coming in there. There you go. I'm on my bike. This is the queue. Going down Edge Lane.
Looks like the don't queue, that.
Turns into Cross Road here. Good left turn there, Bernard. Well done. Whoops. Oh dear, people in the road. Get out of my way. There they are, still going along Cross Road.
Oh.
All waiting to get a bee tattoo for which they were going to give £50 towards the fund, which eventually raised over £500,000 just from the tattoos.
How many tattooists were there?
Well, I imagine more than one.
Yes, I was just thinking.
I mean, they'd be waiting weeks if that amount of people. Did they stay there overnight and wait till the?
I don't know. I really don't. Look, I've gone right to the end of Cross Road. I'm still pedaling. Getting a bit tired by now. Oh, dogs, yeah.
Been up to Beach Road. Yeah.
And on to Beach Road. And then it ended. No, I didn't get one done. Have you got one?
No.
Has anybody got a Manchester Bee tattoo?
No, but I've
Probably.
got a sticker on my car.
Oh, well, that's all right then.
I've got some varicose veins that could look vaguely like a bee. But
So that was at Sacred Art Tattoo Parlour. And the owner, Samantha Brotherston, who I saw in a video, is absolutely got tattoos everywhere, said that people were queuing around the block, the atmosphere is electric, and businesses came out to offer food and water to people waiting in the queue. So it was a spontaneous symbol for the city. And this is Ariana Grande, who was performing at the arena when the bomb went off, and she had I think it was described as a minimalist version of the symbol behind her left ear. And apparently her backup dancers are also reported to have gotten themselves inked, as they call it.
it's quite nice, that one, actually.
It is, and it's got a little love symbol in it, isn't it?
Sweet.
Yeah, it is.
So I like that one.
Yeah. Anyway, good for her for doing that. I think she behaved admirably with all that.
Didn't she come back and give a free concert?
She did indeed. I think it was very impressive, very impressive.
And every Christmas since then, she sent a gift to all the children that are in Manchester hospitals. And she did it. She's done it every year. She's still doing it.
Fantastic. Oh, good to know. It was interesting. This is, you often see it now etched on windows in city council buildings, which I think look really nice. I like etchings on windows. And they quietly trademarked, Manchester City Council, all the versions of the bee it had legal claims to in June 2017. They only published this fact in March 2018, when the period for objections had passed. But commercial applicants now have to pay a £500 fee to use the bee and pass on all royalties from their sales to one of the council's selected charities. So you can't complain about that, really, can you?
No.
Well, you can, but...
Well, some people complain about anything. Yeah.
So I'm sorry about that, Jackie. I just got in before you.
Yeah, but it's much better than mine, and completely different angle. I was going to start with a piece of music.
Oh, right. Hey, I like it.
Anyway, but
well, thank you for listening to all that.
really good. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay, see you all soon as we head into the world beyond Zoom.
We'll be on Zoom.
Thanks, Bernard. That was great.
That was really good.
Thank you.
Bye.
I'm just amazed by the queue for tattoos.
It was. That was astonishing, wasn't it?